Hey, dreamers and entrepreneurs. Welcome to another episode of Icon Theory Podcast, where we turn dreamers and entrepreneurs into an iconic legacy.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about passive income. Now, I know I get a lot of people asking me, how do they make extra money? Particularly people who have traditional 9-to-5 or salaried jobs. So today we're going to talk about different ways to make extra money passively.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
So I believe that you should definitely have more than one stream of income. So most people just go to work, they come home, and they learn to survive off of that. Mm-hmm. But I think you should have something extra, whether, it's investing or a side hustle or whatever.
And there's so many tangible things to do to create extra income. I mean, especially with this in our hand all the time. This is really, yes. So there's so many ways. I mean, online stores, selling gently used. So it's so many side hustles. But we're going to first talk about some of the passive income ones, the things that you can do that you won't have to literally roll up your sleeves as much and do the work. Everything requires some amount of work. You can best believe that, because if you're going to make some money, you have to put in some work.
Either here or here.
Right.
You either use elbow grease or you're using your brain. But it's 2024, and I'm going to tell you what's interesting. I feel like our kids are ahead of the curve with this. Because that generation of, I would say like 15 to like 25 to 30, they're like on it. I have so many clients that are streaming. So of course, when they come to me to buy a property and they're streamers, it's kind of hard to prove the income. But they make 5 figures a month. A lot of them do. Streaming on YouTube. So there are a lot of ways, and I think they're just ahead of the curve. There are a lot of ways to make extra money. So we're going to talk about a couple of the ways to make some extra money.
And I'm going to let Dawn speak more on
stop it.
Those things. I'm going to talk a little more about the tangible things, because, like I said, there are loads of things that you can do that are kind of right at your fingertips, specifically on the phone. I mean, Amazon has courses all the time, and I'm not trying to rev up their business. But most of us are spending so much time on our phone anyway, so you should make it work for you if that is your desire, because I think it is important, especially in today's climate with the cost of everything, finding ways to increase your income or finding other streams of income is a must. I know I've had success specifically with selling some of my gently used items. I mean, we wear things and they decide we don't want them, and we've only used them once or twice. There's plenty of people out there who does not mind buying a designer, and they don't always have to be designer. I can remember putting quite a few just like tops on there for $20, and people grab them up quicker than some of the higher end products. But all of these things are accessible to you through your phone.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I like passive income. Everyone who knows me knows that. But you have like passive and active income. So we're just going to go back and have a little lesson on that for a bit. So of course, there's passive and active income. Active income is what you do every day. It is how you make your money with your effort. So if you work every day and you type, then you are actively earning your salary. Passive is when you're able to do little or nothing and make money. So I'm a fan of that. Active income is what a lot of people choose when they decide to do a side hustle. So let's just say, for instance, you work for the government, which is popular in this area. A lot of people say, I want a side hustle. I want to make an extra $10,000 or whatever a month. Well, they usually always go to, let me think about what I can do with my hands. People say, I can braid, or I'll make shirts, or I can detail
bake,
cars, or I can bake, or whatever. Those are all ways to make to start another stream of income, but you're actively doing it. That means that if you break your leg, you don't have no money. So with the passive way, you're not doing anything. So literally you can like go out of town for a month and still make the same amount of money. So I prefer passive, and a couple of ways. I mean, for me, I have 2 e-commerce businesses, and e-commerce in and of itself can be both active and passive. So you can have an e-commerce business. Let's just say hypothetically you sell shirts. Well, if you have to physically go and buy the shirts, pack up the shirts, sell the shirts, physically bedazzle out the shirts or whatever people do, you're actively selling that. I don't do that.
Right.
Mine is drop ship.
Right.
So drop shipping is a little different. We can go into that in detail.
Yeah, I mean, because going back to like some of the online stores, they make it very easy for you where you're just kind of going online, advertise, especially for people who have a huge following online. There's so many ways to earn income without you really having to do anything but show a product, talk about a product. And these are things that probably would take, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours
really
of your time throughout the week, especially if you're fast online. You're able to upload quite a few items, maybe try them on in front of your camera, all of those things that make people really want to purchase them. And a lot of people don't even have the products tangible. They're trying them on, you drop it, and you pay for it, and they're shipping it from somewhere else, not even from their home.
It's way easy.
Yes.
I mean, it's so easy that it's kind of sad. So when I see people struggle, it makes me sad because I know it's so easy to do it. I'm gonna tell you how easy it is.
It is easy, but I think one of the challenges that I hear all the time when I'm constantly talking to people about passive income or even other tangible income, they just cannot find the time. They're saying that their workload, with their active income. I'm just saying.
They are lying.
You know how many people.
Everybody got the time. Stop it.
You hear our clients say all the time that since they've been working from home, that they get nothing done, that they spend so much more time actively working than passively working. That's what they say.
These are the same people that don't watch all 50 parts of the TikTok.
Right, yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
Right.
If you've watched Power and all the episodes, then you have it. So I don't watch TV. I'm not a TV watcher. I have never seen Power. I do not watch series. I have not seen Risa, Tessa, whoever she is. I don't watch that. I do spend most of my time consuming podcasts, audiobooks, things like that. So I'm always feeding. You have the time if you want the time. The same way if we meet a new boo, guess what we do?
Right.
We find time for him.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Let's just think, always look at it like this. Life happens to all of us. Anything can happen today that can turn your world upside down, where now you could become a full-time caregiver to your parents. You could become a grandparent that is the parent to your, so there's, and you don't have a choice in that sometimes.
Yes.
So when you start looking at the fact that today, I don't have any of those responsibilities that I could have, instead of looking at it like, I can't find the time. No. Let me tell you something. I had a friend that tell me one thing. He said, make the decision or the decision will be made for you.
Yes.
Okay? So you either choose to find the time or your time gonna get sucked up by something.
Right.
Whether it's a dog, because you know people in the pets.
Right.
It'll be your pets. It could be your grandkids. It could be an elderly parent. It could be having to just get another job because you just can't pay the bill. So find the time to do it on your own.
And I mean, I think what's important, not only in entrepreneurship, but in life skills, is having systems in place.
100%.
Right. I mean, I am not a big TV watcher, but I will binge out every now and again. But I do have a very regimented lifestyle. Where it's small things in it, like making coffee time, like literally drinking my coffee. And that's when I try to kind of read at the same time. I'm doing a lot of audio books, so I'm drinking, doing my audio book. So you have to like put these systems in place. And time it seems to be shrinking, even though, we have all of these things at our disposal, but I constantly feel like I don't have enough time in the day. But you have to, I guess, stack some of the things that you're doing and set these systems in place, because people want these passive incomes. And like I say, they're not going to just obviously fall out of the ceiling. You do have to put in some work and put systems in place. If not necessarily elbow grease work, you have to have the systems, because you can't just start something and not even know where it's going. I mean, we talk about this all the time. If you're trying to make money, you have to pay attention to the numbers at all times, no matter what you're doing. Passive, active, you have to know what your numbers are and what they look like and what you have to do to get to the next number. So that's very important when you're thinking about finding ways to make other income. And when you're choosing that, if you know you only have 3 hours a week, you need to choose accordingly something that will require that.
For sure.
So some of the active things may require more like 10 hours a week, but many of us are working from home these days. So you can find 10 hours, even if it's 2 hours a day, getting up 2 hours earlier. I mean, none of this stuff sounds like fun, but if it gets you closer to your goal, then obviously, well, see, I guess I consider myself a goal digger. So meeting goals are fun for me. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I have an unpopular opinion.
Right.
It's very unpopular.
What's that?
I think people rather make the excuse of not having time than to figure it out. Life is whatever you choose to make it. Like, I know when my children were younger, I had to take them to school, pick them up, make dinner. When I was married, I had to focus on him and what the things that he wanted, and my kids and their activities. They're grown now. So now I have time. I have chosen not to have a serious relationship because it takes up too much time. Okay? When I decide to go that route, I know that it has to be infused in with some of the other things. Sometimes the decisions that we make to how we choose to spend our time are what's causing us to be broke. So you're making choices every day that's causing you to have a bank account in the negative, or to have, to be living from paycheck to paycheck. Make the decision for yourself. Choose you. Choose to be fruitful and multiply. The Bible says that. I ain't no preacher, but I know the Bible says that.
Right. It certainly does.
I'm just saying.
I am not as well. But
no, seriously, we need to do better at really
do.
making decisions that are going to be better for us. Because it's so hard for us to be great for our kids, our family. Well, we're not even great to ourselves. Like, just make the decision for yourself to say, I am going to take, even if it's 1 hour, if you just say, I'm gonna take 1 hour and focus on building this one thing, because I can tell you how easy it is to do it.
Yeah.
You better get a pen and paper because it's gonna be quick.
Right. I mean, there are so many ways, and maybe this may seem easy for you and I, because we've talked about, we've both been entrepreneurs pretty much all of our adult life.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think in that entrepreneur energy or spirit, you are always looking for the next thing that challenges you, the next thing that will make you money. I do like challenges, but I do like challenges that yield.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, listen, AI is here. Okay. There are so many ways to get things done, whether you have the skill set to do it or not.
Yes.
When we first started as entrepreneurs, it was different. If we wanted a website, we had to pay thousands of dollars to get a website. Now you don't have to do that. You can go to durable.co, plug in your business name, your tagline, your colors, and you'll have a website in less than 60 seconds.
Wow.
That's durable.co.
Right.
But you don't need to know how to code. You don't have to pay $1,000 for a website. If you want to sell a product, we all know you can go to Shopify. You don't need to go through going to Chase to get a merchant account. You can just go to Shopify and pay $39 a month. There's so many ways to make it. that I just don't take excuses from anyone.
I don't either, but I will say definitely do the homework. Because a lot of these things, they look pretty and shiny.
They're not just pretty and shiny. They are pretty and shiny.
They are, but you do, once again, you have to pay attention to the numbers because they will sell you on this $39 a month, but there are a lot of fees involved in that. But you have to do the work. And I'm definitely not saying that's not a great source of or a good route to take, because it certainly is. I know for my product line, I don't use Shopify, but I use a very similar product that does the same thing. I pay a monthly fee and you know, that's that. I have someone who fills the orders for me. Very, very, very easy. I mean, but also the part that I have to play in that is actually doing tutorials about it, educating people on how to use the product, things of that nature. So it does require, once again, some work to get that out there. But once people use it, and then you start to get testimonials. So there are times you have to pay people for testimonials, and there are times where people just give it because they love what you are offering. So there are several ways, even if, like you said, if you don't have it, and if you have a huge following, I would love to partner with you. There are so many companies out there who partner with people who just talk about their brands. I mean, brand ambassadors, a lot of these girls make great, great money, and not always girls, all types of people. So I know a lot of younger, what's their generation that we're talking about?
Z?
Yes.
I don't know, correct me.
Right.
I could be wrong. X, Z?
Right, I'm not sure.
I don't
know. The millennials are a little older, and they kind of...
That might be me.
It might be. I don't think I fall in the millennial. I'm not a boomer, but I am not a millennial.
Yeah, I really don't know.
But a lot of let's just go here. The 25 and under, they know how to navigate this world. I mean, it's been a part of their entire life.
Yeah.
So they are doing these things very seamlessly. So even sometimes if you have to pay someone to help you, who is a younger person, and just kind of show you and teach you how to do these things to help you and your brand and your business grow. I mean, I know several ladies who make candles or either just sell candles. There are so many products out there where you can just package it and market it. You don't have to actually create the product, you know.
There's a lot of ways to make money.
It really is.
It just depends on what you want
right
to do.
And what your passion is. And I typically say, what you spend a lot of your money on is something that you should find out how you can make money on. Because if it's something that you love, you're certainly going to tell people about it. You're certainly going to talk about it because you're talking about it anyway. So why not earn money off of talking about the things that you love?
If that bank account is going cha-ching,
right,
you're going to tell people about that too. So I mean, there's just too many ways. There's this one young lady that I follow online, and she sells cell phone
accessories.
Oh
wow!
Makes 7 figures.
I'm
selling
sure
cell phone accessories that she gets from Alibaba.
I was going to say probably China. Right.
Alibaba. And the thing is, you don't have to be the face of anything.
Right.
People always joke because, you know, I don't tell anyone about my e-commerce brands because I don't need there to be a face to that.
Right.
It's nothing more than going to Alibaba, not AliExpress. It's a difference.
Yeah. It is.
They're the same but different. But going to Alibaba, you can start a Shopify store. You don't even need to have a lot of product. And we all have bought product that took 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to come. Right. That's because they buy it, they take a picture of it, they post it online, they sell it, and then when you pay them, they take that money and then they pay for the product and have it sent to you. So you can do the same thing. You don't even need money up front for inventory, which is a huge misconception. People think that you need money for inventory, but you don't. You just have to disclose on your website. Takes 2 to 3 weeks to ship. I mean, I just bought some Yeezy stuff off the Yeezy site. Everything was $20. I couldn't resist myself. I don't even know how it's gonna look, but
so do they have quick ship time?
2 to 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
So guess what Yeezy is doing? He's using the money that he made from the Super Bowl ad, and he's paying for the inventory, and then it's being shipped out. So they do it at all levels, whether it is, you know, mom and pop, or even, his level.
Yeah.
So why can't you do the same thing? It really is that simple. People overcomplicate everything.
I think they do. I think a lot of people get stuck at the next step. You know what I mean? It's like they like all the pretty parts, but you do have to.
You know where they get stuck? They want it to be what they want.
Yes.
You ain't gotta like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to like it. I'm not a sports girl.
Yeah.
But if I know that I can make 7 figures selling jerseys, guess what I'm gonna sell? Jerseys. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be what you like, because anything that is bringing you in enough money to change your life, you'll be motivated to continue it.
Yes, definitely that. Yeah. I think so. And I guess, like, for me, I am leaning more towards that type of lifestyle. Most of the things that I've done have been more tangible things. I'm just starting to get into the more passive, and I spoke on the time because I am someone that always feels like I have all these tangible things and I don't ever have enough time, because you do need time to create some of these passive incomes to start off with. So I am going to, from this point on, stop making an excuse about it and find a way to do some of them. With my good girlfriend Dawn here helping me out and navigating me in that world, because things are constantly changing. And that's where I think people get stuck. They're not educated on it. And it's like, I feel like learning something new.
Child, it's so easy. You just do it.
Right.
I mean, I used to be the queen of overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
You want everything to be planned out perfectly. And I've done it both ways. I've started businesses on a whim, and I have planned out until I could not plan no more. Right. I've done them both, and they both turned out okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I'm being honest, a couple of the businesses that I spent less time on made more money.
Hello?
I had a couple of turnkey situations.
I had one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not overthinking and spending all the time and creating it. It's kind of ready to go. So you kind of are in that mode of, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Instead of getting caught up in the creative process of it.
For sure.
Which can
take up all your time.
It really can.
And I mean, the thing that you really have to focus the most on is who your target market is. So focus on who your customer is or will be.
Yes.
And whether the product matches them and how you intend to reach them. So you just have to, I would focus more on my messaging, knowing my market, and what my ads look like. So that if you're going to spend time on anything, that's what you should spend time on. But the logo, if somebody show me another logo, what you think about this? Pick it. Just pick it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think of some of the stuff we've seen in the past. We're like, that ain't dumb. And then we
start saying it. You do get used to it.
Then,
yeah.
You can literally call it whatever you want.
You're right. Because over time, people will get accustomed to it. They definitely will. Yeah.
Like CVS. Remember when People's Drugstore?
Yeah.
And then they changed the name to CVS. Yeah, no, that's dumb.
Right. But it's so easy to say now. You know
it's
what I mean?
just CVS. We don't think anything of it.
We don't.
I mean, and there's so many other examples.
There really are. I can't think of any. I mean, I'm specifically thinking about when people actually change the logo. I don't even know if you sometimes even notice. You know what I'm saying?
Not all the time.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's more
I do think we spend a lot of time on a creative process.
And honestly, you spend too much time on trying to think of what should I sell? What should I do? I was guilty. I did that. I spent a lot of time on what should I do? What should I sell? But at the end of the day, there's always, you figure out who your market is and then you determine what they want. Something that's easy. A lot of people open boutiques. The reason why a lot of them don't work is because I think people overthink it. There's always someone that needs jeans. There's always someone that needs t-shirts. You can literally have a storefront with just jeans. You don't have to have 42 variations of jeans. Right. You don't have to have all the colors. You don't have to have all the different styles. You don't need a shirt to match. You literally can pick 3 pair of jeans and do. As a matter of fact, everyone should take a moment and go to Yeezy's website. Whether you agree with him or not.
Right.
He literally has 5 products on there.
Right.
Those little foldable shoes, a jumper. The jumper is like, I bought it. I probably just wear it to sleep. But it's like a little jumper and then like some pants and shirts. That's it. 1 pair of pants, 1 pair of shirts, like a t-shirt, a jumper, and these shoes. And he made $19 million in 24 hours. Of course, we're not Yeezy, but all you need is 19,000.
Right.
You don't need 19 million.
Yes.
So I'm like, why can't you do the same thing? But we want it to look a particular way. Oh, it has to be aesthetically pleasing.
And see, that's me. You know, that is me.
It has to look so perfect. And then we never do it.
Well, I definitely always do it, but I am one of them that I really, and I have missed a couple times. No, like missed out on situations that people have pitched me, because I used to always say I only do passion projects because I only like to do things that I am passionate about. So I can remember years ago, and a lot of you guys probably know Coach Stormy and all that. They approached me with the waist trainers. I had several salons in the Atlanta areas and they wanted to put the waist trainers in there. And I was like, I'm not selling no girdles in here. What are they gonna try it on? Well, that's what I called them at the time. And I literally missed out on that because I mean, that marketing they sold millions. And I mean, they're still selling millions. Now they're so oversaturated, but people are still constantly buying them. But they were on the front end of it. And since we had one of the places that a lot of women visited, they literally like came back and back. And I just kept saying, no. 10 years later, I was like, Tanya, what were you thinking?
Right.
But it was something that I didn't feel fit my brand. So I didn't want it to take away from what I thought I had built. So it is, things are changing where people are literally just putting themselves out there to sell product because people want product. And I think that is different from, like I said, a lot of mine have been my little babies that I started out and,
you just
only passion, right. And I am growing there and getting there because it is very difficult once you reach a certain age to do all tangible.
Sure.
Yeah,
100%.
it definitely is. It definitely is. Because you can't be in 6 places at the same time. You just can't.
And I mean, honestly speaking, I think just the fact that it's not that expensive to start, it's not that hard to start, it makes sense to just say, you know what? I like stretch jeans. Let me find a vendor that sells really stretchy jeans. Because as we know, what's popular now is like the fast retail. So that's like Fashion Nova, Shein, and those things.
They come to your door before you
and the deal with the fast retail is those products do not last long.
No.
It's not like we're buying, our high-end jeans. These jeans are going to rip in the washer.
Yes.
You have about 10 to 20 wears, and then they're going to start ripping at the seams. So what does that mean? People are going to keep buying
it. Yes.
So it's not where our higher end jeans. We may have those for years. So why not have a website that sells? Even if you wanted to do, hey, I'm gonna sell every color stretch jeans.
Yes.
White, red, blue, green, every color. Yes. And that's it. Why wouldn't you do it?
And I think what also has, I guess, really got those companies in the forefront, social media once again, because people don't want to be photographed in the same things. So you're not spending thousands of dollars every time you are in front of the camera. These places that deliver quickly and the things are really cute. They're not quality, but they are cute. And they photograph well. Yes, they photograph well. So I think they have really, hit the mark with that. For sure. Definitely.
100%. So if you want to do something like that, it really is as simple as finding a vendor. You come up with a name, Dawn's Boutique.
So creative.
You come up with a name, Dawn's Boutique. I wouldn't even register it until you start.
Well, that's a story for another day about
That is
registration.
a story for another day, but you don't have to register it.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to certain vendors, they'll need a tax ID number,
yes.
which you'll have to register in order to get the tax ID number.
Yes.
But if you go to Alibaba, they do not require one, or AliExpress, they don't. You can just order from those distributors there. You can order 3 pair of jeans. Buy 1 pair, test for quality. All you do is ask them, even if they have a minimum quantity, just say, hey, I just need to test. They'll send you 1 pair for you to wear yourself and test the quality. Take a picture, get a Shopify store, post it, and you have to run Facebook and Instagram ads to your post. You will get sales if you target the proper audience. That means if you're selling stretch jeans, you have to know who wears them. It's mostly going to be girls 15 to 30. I wear them, but I'm going to spill over. So you would focus on 15 to 30. You know what they listen to. They may listen to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, whatever. You know that they shop normally at Zara or Fashion Nova. And you tailor your ads to those people. You will get sales. It is that easy. And I'm not lying.
Yes. And I mean, I think when we talked about doing this platform, that's what it was about, being able to help other women specifically grow in an entrepreneurial space, because we both had success with it, and I think we like the freedom that it brings at times. But because sometimes you're not free, you're honestly not. But there are times where you still have the ability to choose your own schedule and things of that nature. So, especially after we were all shut down in the pandemic, I think, a lot of people have thought about it, but now I'm starting to see people kind of shy away from it again,
Yeah, it gets discouraging when things don't work out the way you want them to work out. I'm gonna tell you what's interesting. During the pandemic, you know what I did?
What's that?
I did a lot of day trading and options trading.
Oh, wow.
I invested a lot in the stock market. I didn't have anything to do. We were off for like 3 months. I didn't have a lot to do, so I just started buying stocks. I bought a few that I held long term, and then I did some day trading, and I did a lot of options trading. I mean, and I learned from YouTube University.
Right. So, I mean, obviously that is definitely another source.
Passive.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, passively would have been my long-term holds. Actively, I literally had to watch the options trades, and the day trading is more active. But I made a lot of money off the long-term holds. So, I mean, it was fun. Yeah. And then I still have my long-term holds, but the options, you really have to kind of
pay attention to.
Yeah. So, but that was fun. So that's another way that you can actually, have another stream of income.
Definitely.